Hello and welcome back to JJ Isaacson Field here at Seymour Smith Park for the nightcap on this beautiful Sunday night here. Weather slowly cooling down. We had a rough 5 p.m. game. It got pretty up there. Feels like 90s, feels like 95s. This one, the breeze is slowly coming in. And how do you think the weather is going to play a factor into this one?
Yeah, I think this entire week the weather is going to play a factor. We're seeing highs up as high as 102, 103 these next 2 days. So you add that on to the top of a lot of humidity here so much that you see here a lot in Omaha, Nebraska. It's going to be a lot of different fatigue factors that could be hurting some guys, even seeing some schedule changes tomorrow at Iowa Western that could change some things. So, fatigue is going to be a factor, and making sure a lot of these guys keep their bodies ready and hydrated is going to be huge throughout these next couple of days of a lot of baseball.
You mentioned some schedule changes. Both these teams have experienced that with rainouts. The Omaha Black Sox are 1-1 on the year. They have 2 unfinished games this year. How do you think that kind of plays into your game? Not finishing games that you were either leading in, having those games postponed. How does that mentally affect you?
Yeah, that's got to be a weird thing. You have really a guy who's starting pitcher today for the Black Sox originally started yesterday, or was going to start yesterday before the rain out. He threw 2 pitches, got 1 out, and said, all right, we're done for the night. The rain's coming in once again. So Aaron Madden will be throwing here tonight for the second time that we've seen throughout this season. Again, 2 different unfinished games. Like you mentioned, there'll be a lot of different schedule changes to see what happens next, where games can be moved around. But tonight here for these 2 teams is to be 2 teams that are consistent this season, but seeing can they go from the middle of the pack to being truly a dominant team here in these first couple of weeks. And I think the Black Sox can do it with a big win here tonight.
And the Haymakers starting the season off 2-0. They are the per-game highest-scoring offense just because they have such a small sample size. Both of their games against the Crop Dusters, we saw in that 5 p.m. game. On Monday, they beat the Crop Dusters 6-1, and then that same Thursday, they beat the Crop Dusters 14-0. A truly dominant performance. They had their games against the Rail Riders and the Red Raiders. Both get postponed because of the weather, obviously. So how do you think their offense, obviously coming off 2 hot games where they scored 6 and then scored 14, so they're averaging 10 runs a game so far. Do you think that keeps up in this trend, especially in the weather and all these factors tonight, or do you think their offense finally slows down a little bit?
Again, I think going up against like Madden, who's really at least set himself up to be the ace for the Black Sox, things could change. But I think that this game really, pushes them to see, okay, are they truly the team to go for right now? Are they truly the best offense in this league? And I think they can have a really good night up against Aaron Madden tonight. They can do that. However, the biggest question here tonight, the Haymakers pitching staff. We're going to see a bullpen-like night like no other.
Talking to the coach, Kellen Richards, before the game, we learned that they're going to be throwing 6 arms today. Starting off is Alejandro Villanueva. Sorry, not Alejandro, just Villanueva. Their number 5, you'll see him out there on the mound right now. He throws fastball curve change. So we will see him get the night started off for the Haymakers. And for the rest of the lineup, you've got some pretty solid defenders there. A good outfield lineup, a lot of fast players in the outfield. You'll see them run the bases very, very well today. So for the Haymakers, the most important thing today is just keeping up the runs that they've been scoring these past few games.
Yeah, after a big pitcher's duel in our first game of the night, at least this one is set up to be a back-and-forth hitters battle, and I think it'll be big to see here with not a struggling pitching staff, but a limited pitching staff in the Haymakers. Even a couple guys go down even early in this season with some injuries to limit their arms so far. They have to rely on some really unorthodox methods to really get through themselves here tonight.
It'll be an interesting night, this one, and we will go to break here. We'll be back with some action here in the nightcap tonight between the Haymakers and the Black Sox. This is a Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. And we are here ready for the first pitch of the evening. Up for the Black Sox, number 30, Stephen Larkin, going to be playing center field tonight for the Black Sox. What are you seeing out of him?
A lot of speed. I mean, he really likes to do it all as a player. And he really knows Coach Sunday here for the Black Sox really well in his time here with the Black Sox. His second year here in the Corn Belt League. Last season hit .301. A strikeout to walk ratio of 17-19, so comparatively even for him. Also had 12 RBIs, but the biggest thing for him, 12 stolen bases last season. It was 7th in the league. And that's really why Coach Sunday likes him at the top of the order. He can take bags as much as he wants.
Second pitch is fouled off. The count is 1-1 here.
I really like the way Villanueva, again, not a guy with a ton of pitching experience, has been able to really try to attack the zone well. It's going to be an odd night for the Haymakers. We'll see, again, a lot of guys that don't have a ton of pitching experience, really a bullpen type of night for them. We'll see who can really step up and maybe even be a bigger voice and a bigger pitching performance here maybe later in this season. Again, I think this is really a testing night for this team to really see, okay, what guys are available, what guys can we use later on this season.
Yeah, talking with Coach Kellen Richards pregame, he's just like, I need to see who's good. And he was very, very honest. He was like, well, if this pitcher can't throw, I'm just going to use him in the field. As that pitch is fouled sharply to the right field side. So it'll be a 2-2 count coming up here for Larkin.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here for Villanueva, as well as the rest of this pitching staff, is just being able to find the zone consistently. That's the biggest thing we've seen so much here in the Corn Belt League this season. When you're able to find the zone relatively well, you find a lot more success. And already a long at-bat here. And that's the biggest thing on the other end for the Black Sox. They're such a disciplined group that, you know, if you're falling behind early in counts, it's going to hurt you a lot later on.
So with a full count, Alec Villanueva draws a nice pop-up to the second baseman, and it is caught by the second baseman. That's Nekaziliak, I believe.
Yeah, Nikolazak actually out there at second base. And a really good job right there by Villanueva, able to get the first out, maybe able to calm some nerves a little bit for a guy that doesn't have as much pitching experience, but a good out right now. And now you're headed to a really strong middle of the order right now for this Black Sox team between Peyton Blinn as well as Spencer Crane. We'll see how well they can do here to start off this one.
Blinn from Franklin College, played in 20 games this year for his collegiate team. Starting things off with the Black Sox, has been pretty efficient here on the bases this season. So he does here against Alec Villanueva. As the second pitch is in there for a ball, it'll be 1-1.
And again, being able to attack this zone is going to be very big for Villanueva. You mentioned the fastball curve change mix. If he's able to attack fastball a lot, we'll maybe see a little bit more of the off-speed him from later on.
With the count now at 2-1, here's Blinn against Villanueva. And you really cannot, especially with the way that the Haymakers will be rotating pitching today, you cannot let a single hit get into your head. You have to know that if you're done when the inning is over, you just got to let those hits get past you. You can't let it affect the way you treat the next batter in the lineup.
Yeah, we've only seen Blinn with 2 at-bats this season, but a single and a triple. He's been able to be very consistent now at the top of the order.
And that one hits Blinn, so he will be going to first base here on the hit by pitch from Villanueva. And that will bring up Spencer Crane, who in that first game we saw hit a home run. I know it went pretty far, I believe 340 on the left center wall. So
yeah, about 15 feet past the left field wall. It was a shot out there in the first game that we saw from him. A home run and a triple. He's already given himself really a target on his back as one of the best pitchers, or excuse me, best hitters really in this league so far to start off the season.
There is a wild pitch there. It'll advance the runner on second. Now with a runner on second here, Black Sox looking to take early advantage with this runner in scoring position.
Crane, a guy who did not get a ton of experience In his first 2 years at Baldwin Wallace University, only 4 at-bats this past season, but 3 strikeouts. But, man, he is a huge guy out there at 6'4", 220. This guy that can really put a lot of pop when he finds the barrel.
Just under that ball, he'll foul it back past the press box. It'll be a 1-2 count coming up for Spencer Crane.
This is a really good chance right now for the Black Sox to be able to start something early. Again, you're seeing a pitching staff that doesn't have a ton of this experience on the mound. It's time to do some damage.
And there's a high fastball, gets him swinging, and down goes Spencer Crane for the second out of the top of the first for Alec Villanueva.
Yeah, great pitch right there. Got him chasing up high, and Crane not happy with himself chasing a fastball up top. We haven't really seen Villanueva use much, or at least being able to find consistency with any of his off-speed pitches. But now in a spot trying to get out of this inning with limited to no damage done.
And
so you can do here up against Caden Young.
Caden Young, Northeast Community College player, 131 at-bats this year, hit 275. So pretty good stat line this year from Northeast. The Columbus SCOTUS graduate, now playing in the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, Young, a guy that we've seen a lot of different guys from Northeast Community College this season.
That one is hit into the left center gap. It'll drop, and coming around third is the runner. And the runner will score. That's Peyton Blinn, who reached base on a hit-by-pitch, advanced to second on a wild pitch, and now scores on the RBI single from Caden Young.
A great piece of hitting right there from Caden Young. You're not going up against too much of blow by speed. You're allowed to get yourself set, really allow that one to get in the zone well and poke that the opposite way. A beautiful barrel, an RBI single to set the tone, and the Black Sox strike first here.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Sid DeMayo. Plays at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. And there's another pass ball there.
2 different pass balls from Jason Bishop behind home plate. And this one, a lot of sloppiness so far from the Haymakers, and I think we kind of expected a little bit of that to start off this one. But, man, both Villanueva as well as Bishop behind home plate don't really seem too comfortable right now. And I think this is a chance, especially to start off the game. You know, if you understand this can be a different type of game, you don't want to give the Haymakers any kind of chance to stay in this one. This is a time really right now, these first couple innings for the Black Sox, with the situation that you have up against you, to try to put this one away as quickly as possible.
As we mentioned, Haymakers are planning on going with 6 guys tonight, so there is already someone up in the bullpen getting ready just in case they need to pull Villanueva before the inning is over. As the count sits 2-0 here with 2 outs.
Yeah, and really for Villanueva, I mean, again, a guy that does not have a ton of pitching experience. A lot of these guys don't here for the Haymakers here tonight. There's going to be a lot of fastball, and when you're not able to find the fastball consistently, I mean, it's really easy to be able to tell what pitch is coming next right there. You miss 2 outside, and you bring that one back in for a mistake and possibly a run here.
Runner makes it home, and over to second base goes Sid DeMayo, so the RBI double scores a run. Coming in is Caden Young.
Now batting, the third baseman.
And with an early 2-0 lead, the Black Sox take a lead on the Haymakers.
Yeah, really good start for the Black Sox so far. A lot of barrels to start it off and been able to put it up the middle pretty consistently. And we thought after that 1-out strikeout of Spencer Crane that possibly the Haymakers could get out of this one without any damage done. The Black Sox, the middle and the start now, the back half of the order is doing a really good job of doing some damage.
Caleb Horton up to bat, the third baseman. Plays at Alice Lloyd College. Not the biggest power hitter. He'll hit a lot of singles, a lot of doubles. Those hits to advance the runner is what he's really good at, and he takes pride in his game in that way.
Yeah, Darius Hagan a little more speed out there at second. It'd be a courtesy runner. We'll see really how well that can change some things. If we can see a shot from Horner out into center, or Horton out into center field.
College, number 25, Darius Hagan.
Hagan, an Omaha North grad, went to 2 different colleges, Southeast as well as Northeast Community Colleges, mainly a pitcher for this group. We'll see a lot of speed out there at second base as the Black Sox look to add on even more.
This one hit towards the second baseman. It'll go through the gap, Runner's going home. And the throw in from the right fielder cut off by Nikolzak. And early 3-0 lead here for the Black Sox.
Yeah, I mean, a really good job so far to start it off for the Black Sox to be able to just go station by station so far, and they've been able to do a really good job. And the Haymakers have really struggled defensively as well as pitching. I think we kind of expected that here tonight, but definitely a really good start. And really, this has all been with 2 outs so far for the most part. And you're now getting in danger of going throughout the entirety of this order.
They will leave Alec Villanueva up on the mound for now.
Yeah, they had a lefty out in the bullpen, now a righty up and throwing here for the Haymakers. As it looks like possibly Yorgis or Richie will be the next guys for the Haymakers. But now you got to try to get out of this first here with 2 outs still. The Black Sox already put it on his 3 spot here in the first.
Giving up 2 of those runs with 2 outs. Villanueva was so close to ending this inning early with minimal damage, but instead gives up 2 more runs. That really hurts this Haymaker team, their confidence going into this bottom half of the first when they get there.
Now we'll see what Goso can do here. 0 for 3 on the year so far. Still looking for his first official hit after 2 different games still have not officially been completed. But a guy out of California, got a different kind of heat here in Omaha, Nebraska, but still definitely a factor. Again, for Goso, another guy with a lot of speed at 5'10", 170. I think we'll see here if they even pitch to him as Villanueva once again is struggling to find the zone.
Down 3-0 early is Villanueva with 2 outs. Just needs a weak ground ball here, weak contact to get the out at first. Finally gets one over the plate, so it'll be 3-1 here. I think got to be taken all the way there as for Goso. You don't want to swing on a 3-0 pitch.
Yeah, I think definitely to start off this game to where you do have an early lead to be able to help yourself out, but just continuing to add on would be the big thing here for the Black Sox, and you don't want to try and chase it one thinking you're going to go yard and don't do anything with it.
Big swing there. Brings it to a full count. 1 strike away from getting out of this inning is Villanueva if he can put it away.
I think if you're for Goso right now, this is the time to, again, really only seen fastballs so far, so I think make sure that you find anything over the plate. You got to be able to put it out in the center field or pull side. Let's see what he can do here in the payoff pitch.
Runner goes. This one is hit high towards the left field side. And it is caught by the left fielder Small. For the Black Sox, top of the first inning, 3 runs on 3 hits. It'll go to the bottom of the first inning. We'll see the Haymakers up to bat here at JJ Isaacson Field here in Omaha, Nebraska. This is the Corn Belt League Network.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Washburn University.
Coming up at the bottom of the first inning here, The center fielder, Jackson Doty, up to bat for the Haymakers, looking to reset this lead a little bit as the Black Sox got 3 early ones here in the top of the first.
Yeah, again, we talked about a bullpen day for the Haymakers, and a struggling start for Alec Villanueva will likely be his day. But now the ace on the other end for the Black Sox in Aaron Madden, 0-0 on the season, no decision, his first outing of the season against the Filth Ballers. It's a 4-3 loss, a really good start for him. Did just allow 2 earned runs in that one, but the offense couldn't quite help him out as much as he'd like. But again, a big thing here for him, a 278 batting average against. We've seen different hitters against him so far this season. But I think here, up against a really solid offensive team in the Haymakers, it would be big for him to be able to step up in a big moment for these Black Sox.
And Madden's second year in the Corn Belt League last year with the Black Sox. He was 4-3 with 24 strikeouts and 22 walks. Had a 3.09 ERA. So a little bit more comfortable with the situation. Obviously, this one is hit towards the shortstop. And the play is made just barely. Hustling down the line was Doty, but Peyton Blinn able to make the play from the shortstop position.
Yeah, a really good play right there from Peyton Blinn, able to charge that one. Knew that if he really let it come to him, it would have been an easy infield single for Jackson Doty, and a quick out here for the Black Sox.
Now batting, the second baseman from Concordia University, number 52.
We'll see how Tyler Nikolazak can possibly do something here for the Haymakers, especially after giving up a 3 spot in the top of the first. This is time that the Haymakers need to find some kind of adjustment. You know the pitching is not going to be as much there for your team, so this is a time for them to be able to add on and just really swing freely. I think that's the kind of mentality you got to have with the Haymakers right now. You know this is a game to where you got to hit well, but don't put too much pressure on yourself to do so.
That pitch is just outside there for Madden. Madden, the Papio South grad, now at Mount Marty University. But playing somewhere close to home here from Papillion and Ralston. It's not too far away. A little bit used to the summer heat, playing summer ball for Papio South.
Yeah, and those summers can be a lot, really just a grind for a lot of different guys to be able to work through a really long summer right after you've worked through a really long spring. So, I mean, being able to know that and be able to have your body comfortable with that is really big, especially at the college level.
Play is made there by the first baseman. Great play there from Caden Young. The throw from Fregoso was in the ground, but Caden Young able to pick it up and get the second out of the inning. That'll bring up number 32, Small here, the left fielder for the Haymakers.
Fregoso just shaking his head a little bit, laughing a little bit on that one. I think it either slipped out of his hand a little bit or maybe was thinking a little bit too much on that one, but an odd play, but a really good job by Caden Young to be able to pick that one, especially after you're so close, you're expecting a great throw to come into you, and then all of a sudden it really gets back away from you. But a really good play, and now 2 outs here for Aaron Madden.
This one is popped up high, but it'll go out of play.
I think it would be interesting to see what Dane Small can do here. 2 for 3 on the season with a single and a double. And he's really the piece of this middle of the lineup for the Haymakers that they like to see hit often. It's a strong start to the season so far. Goodbye.
This one is hit deep into left field, and it is gone. There's a home run there for number 32 for the Haymakers. That's
Dane Small. Yeah, Dane Small just launching that fastball over the left field wall. What a home run right there. I mean, that one was shot. I mean, Aaron Madden, I mean, you're talking about fast going up against fast. Fast bat speed coming around on a fast fastball, and that one leads to a little bit of destruction right there for the Haymakers. And, hey, there, I mean, a little bit of life right now for the Haymakers after a 3 spot in the first from the Black Sox. I think that's really what they need. Swinging freely, swinging loosely. I like the start right there from Dane Small.
What a hit that was from Small, just making it over the left field wall. I believe on 335 there that one went, but a rough start there for Madden. He'd pitched well to the first 2 hitters, but unfortunately giving up that home run too Small.
That's exactly what they need right now, and there another hit and something going here for the Haymakers. And Madden again just I think leaving too many things over the middle of the plate.
That is the first baseman, Carter Bjorkman, making it 2 first base there. And that'll bring up the 5-hitter, number 41, the third baseman, Andrew Duncan, up to the bat now.
Yeah, Duncan still looking for his first hit of the season. 0 for 2 so far this season. Did have an RBI hit by pitch, which is odd enough earlier this season. But we'll see what Duncan can do here and maybe add some more on here in the bottom of the first to chip away at this lead.
This one hit towards left field, but it's going to fall just a few feet foul.
The Haymakers right now have really been able to barrel up on Madden so far. I mean, he's been dominant so far, at least was really consistent in his first outing up against a really good team in the Filth Ballers. But now, I mean, although only 1 run allowed so far, I think the Haymakers have been able to find his number so far here early. We'll see how he can adjust here. Like he tried to work some off-speed right there to switching things up, kind of slipped out of his hand.
Good reach there by Sid DeMayo. Kind of had a hop up for that one from the kneeling position. It'll be a 1-1 pitch here for Duncan. This one hit high and shallow towards the second baseman. The catch is made by Manny Fregoso. That'll be the end of the first inning. The Haymakers get one back by the form of a Dane Small home run. 1 run on 2 hits. Black Sox still lead 3-1. This is the Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Back here at the top of the second, new pitcher in here for the Haymakers. It's going to be number 53, Trevor Yorgis.
Yeah, Yorgis again. We talked about it's going to be a bullpen night and maybe a little bit of a lefty look for the bottom of the order here for the Black Sox. Looking at 8, 9, 10, then back at the top of the order for Stephen Larkin. But after the 3 spot on the top of the first, I think this is a really good game for Coach Richardson and this entire group to see, who can be a guy that we can trust later on, who might be an unorthodox guy that we're not expecting to pitch a ton, but could be a guy that will have some needed innings later on in the dog days of late July and early August.
We talk about it a lot, whether it's on the podcast, whether it's here in the booth. We talk about versatility and we talk about pitching staffs, and pitching staffs are huge, especially because it's a 2-month season packed with games. You got to have reliable arms, and I think this is a great game to test early in the season which arms are reliable. It's an early walk here, a 5-pitch walk for Yorgis.
Yeah, that's a big thing, too, when injuries can be an accounting thing for a lot of these different teams. I mean, the Haymakers already 2 different pitchers already hurt from their starting 4, or at least limited here tonight, not going to be able to pitch. But that'll be a big to see who can step up in big moments, especially here earlier on in the season, who can maybe get some quality innings for this Haymakers group.
That'll bring Christian Harris, the right fielder. Harris, number 7, went to Lincoln North Star, now plays at Nebraska Wesleyan. See what he can do with a runner at first in Matthew Bridwell.
Yeah, Harris, a guy that really has been consistent at the bottom of the order so far. Still looking for his first hit, 0 for 3. And a good pickoff move right there.
Got the runner in a pickoff situation here. And they get him there. Caught stealing. Great move there from Yorgis to get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Bridwell was trying to get a little bit too early of a jump right there, but a good move as a lefty from Yorgis Steele to get the out. And again, that's another thing right there. Those small things can be really big in a bigger sense, just in the fact that you can calm yourself down a little bit. You don't have a runner on the base pass you got to worry about. You can really just strictly focus on the hitter right in front of you.
Especially as a lefty, he'd be staring down that runner every time he got set, so it's a huge out there for Yorgis. So the count sitting at 1-1. Got Christian Harris up to bat, working against Trevor Yorgis. This one chopped towards the pitcher. First baseman gets it, tosses it to Yorgis, who gets the second out of the inning. Great work there from Yorgis to cover the first base bag.
Again, as a pitcher myself, seeing the PFPs work correctly is so satisfying to see. Those are that kind of just unquite sure of where to go to in that ball. It's not quite going fast enough to get to the second baseman. It just dies in the grass for Borkman to be able to make the play and give it over to Yorgis at first. But a really good set tone right there and really good defensive play. And those small things can be so big later on in games. So when you're able to get those really routine plays down like that you really practice on in practice, then it really becomes a weight lifted off your shoulders defensively.
I think the biggest thing there for Yorgis was he didn't hesitate. He didn't look at the ball and think, oh, I can get this. He knew that he had to cover the bag, and he got there, and the play was made in time by the first baseman. It's a lot of trust you're putting in the first baseman to be on the same wavelength as a pitcher.
Yeah, it's a lot of bang-bang plays, especially with a couple speedy runners that you see trying to get down the first base line. So it really got to be immaculate with your setup right there, being able to make a good throw onto first. And make sure that, as a guy like the pitcher who's not quite totally sure of where his footing is, that he gets himself set correctly.
Here is Dustin Sipe, Kansas Wesleyan player. 28 walks drawn on the season, 70 RBIs for Kansas Wesleyan, leading the team. Big swing there, and he misses. It'll be a full count here, 3-2.
Yeah, Sipe was one of their best hitters last season for the Black Sox, hitting .326, which was 7th on the team at a slash line, including a 42 on-base percentage, a .565 slugging percentage. Also had 13 RBIs on the season, looking to have another really strong summer.
This one's hit high towards the right fielder. And the play is made there in right field by Feeler. And that'll be the end of the top of the second inning. No runs on no hits. We'll head to the bottom. 3-1 the score. Black Sox lead the Haymakers. This is the Corn Belt League Network. Back here in action. Bottom of the second inning coming up for the Haymakers. There's the pitcher you see, Aaron Madden. Decent first inning, gave up that home run obviously to Dane Small, but other than that, was dealing pretty well.
And again, you have that lead, so it gives you a little bit more comfortability as a pitcher to know that you're pitching with a lead. But again, here, if you're the Haymakers right now, this is the time, again, swing freely, being able to make sure that you can maybe get something going to try to get yourself back in this ball game. And Madden, again, we saw him get pieced up a little bit in that first inning, specifically that small shot over the left field wall. So also saw Carter Borkman with the single up the middle. I think we already see right here with Connor Filer, he is swinging for the fences and trying to start something here for the Haymakers in the bottom of the second.
Haymakers have no shortage of offense this season. You saw them put 14 up against the Filth Ballers. Sorry, not the Filth Ballers, the Crop Dusters early on this year. And Filer goes down 3 straight swings, 3 straight strikes. That's the first strikeout of the day for Aaron Madden.
Yeah, that's a really good way to set the tone here in the second, right after you've given up 1 or 2 shots this past inning, to be able to know that you're still the guy out there and you're still willing to attack. You can't, scribble a little, or nibble a little bit too much on the outer half. You got to know that you are the guy that you want to work here on that outer half or wherever you need to as a guy like Aaron Madden.
Up to bat now, the starting pitcher for this game, who was eventually relieved by number 53, Trevor Yorgis. This is Alec Villanueva, the designated hitter now for the Haymakers.
Yeah, Villanueva, 1 for 2 on this season, and in his at-bats did have a single back in their first game of 2 up against the Crop Dusters. A lot of different guys with some opportunities here today, and he's been one of them.
That one hit sharply to the third base side. Great play by the third baseman, Caleb Horton, to get out Villanueva, able to track the ball back and plant and throw a great ball to the first baseman, Caden Young.
Yeah, like you mentioned, really been able to set his feet really well right there from Caleb Horton. I mean, he had to go a little bit to his backhand, had to take 2 steps back to be able to make sure he could read that hop correctly, and a really strong throw onto first, even with a really fast guy and Alec Villanueva running down the first base line.
That will bring up number 54, Jason Bishop. On the year, Bishop is 0 for 2 with 1 strikeout. Still looking for his first hit in this second week of play.
Now, see what Madden wants to go to here. We see him a little bit more back to his comfortable pace here, really in his rhythm right now.
That pitch just low and away, so it'll be a 1-1 count here. Third pitch is inside, so we're looking at 2-1 here for Bishop.
Yeah, that one just barely off the inside of the plate. And Madden, now you're behind in the count. We'll see how he can adjust here if he wants to go a fastball and out of the outer half.
Bishop also the catcher. This one hit sharply to the shortstop. And the play is made. That'll be 3 quick outs there for Aaron Madden. It'll bring up the top of the 3rd inning for the Black Sox. They lead 3-1. This is the Corn Belt League Network. Back in action here at the top of the third inning. Got top of the lineup coming up here for the Black Sox. 1, 2, 3, Larkin, Blinn, and Crane.
The top of the third inning for the Black Sox, the center fielder.
Another new pitcher here today, here for the Haymakers. Third of the day. Really, actually decent inning from Yorgis back in the second. And now we'll see what Cade Ritchie can do here in the top, or yeah, excuse me, in the top of the third for the Haymakers. I think it is a time you're back at the top of the order once again with a really strong first inning. We'll see what they can do here in the third. We saw that 3 spot there in the first, a really slow second inning, but I think this is time to where if you really want to do some damage right now up against the Haymakers, it's the time to put your hand in the throat for the Black Sox.
That pitch behind Larkin. You also got to think, though, it is the second time through the lineup, but also you face a new pitcher every single inning if you are the Black Sox, so it's hard to really get a read on a pitcher when they're subbing these pitchers out so consistently.
Yeah, that can't even be really an advantage for the Haymakers a little bit. You're changing guys so much up. You know, you're changing guys so many times up that for the Black Sox, it's hard to be able to adjust because you're seeing a different guy, different movement, different speeds every single time you come up to bat. So a lot of different changes here, but I think really, especially with a lot of different guys that don't have as much pitching experience, be a lot of consistent fastball, and I think if they can hit that well, they can do this pretty well here in the third.
Play is made there by the shortstop, Tanabe, off the short hop there. Able to collect and throw it to the first baseman, Bjorkman.
Yeah, Tanabe, another guy that we could possibly see on the mound here today. He's really the seventh matchup, the seventh possibility for the Haymakers here today, pitching-wise. A really good start here in the third. I think the Haymakers, again, this is not going to be a chance to where you're going to get a lot of strikeouts. This is a time to where you got to have consistent defense to keep yourself in this ball game against the Black Sox.
It's an early 1-0 count here for Blinn.
And we'll see what Blinn can do here after the walk back in the first. He was the first run of the day for the Black Sox. Again, a really strong piece at the top of the lineup here for them.
This one hit sharply to the first baseman. Play is made by Borkman, sliding into the base, getting the out there. Great heads-up play there from Borkman, knowing that there was no pitcher there to cover.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be a hard play either way. Beautiful job to be able to work to his arm side to be able to make that play and then hustle it over to first with a speedy Blinn trying to get down the first base line to get the second out here in the third.
That'll bring up the third batter in the order, Spencer Crane. A big strikeout swinging against Villanueva in the first inning, but a lot of talk about that huge home run he hit in that first game of the season.
Yeah, like you mentioned, a home run and triple back in the first game of the season. He is a big guy. We talked about it, 6'4", 220. Just a lot of power just running through him. It really looks like he swings and looks a lot like a Giancarlo Stanton, if you want to give really a major league comparison to him. He has that kind of front step that he works towards, the little left foot or front foot in front of the back foot. Trying to be able to adjust a lot of times. We'll see what he can do here with the 2-0.
Pitch is low and away, so it'll be 3-0 here for Ritchie against Crane.
And again, I think here for the Black Sox, again, you're not really fully understanding exactly what's coming to you every time because all these pitchers are different here today. It's a time for them to really be able to show how well they can use their hitting, as you see a 3-0 take right there from Spencer Crane.
Here's a 3-1 here from Ritchie. Hit sharply towards the third baseman, but it'll go out of play there.
Yeah, now here at 3-2, a big payoff pitch right now from Ritchie to possibly get past Crane and get out of this inning 1-2-3. That would be a big confidence boost for these Haymakers. It's still a really close ball game back and forth, and to have some unorthodox guys get some quality innings up against a really big piece of the order would be huge.
That's a great pitch. Got him looking. What a pitch that was from Ritchie. No runs on no hits for the Black Sox. We'll be heading to the bottom of the third inning with the Haymakers coming out to bat. This is the Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. Coming up in the bottom of the third inning, number 50 Tanabe up to bat here in the 9-hole.
They're going to see 9-1-2 here for the Haymakers. A big inning right there from Cade Ritchie for the Haymakers. Again, we decided it's going to be a bullpen night. A lot of different guys to see, who you may be able to trust in later on in this season. And honestly, right now, I mean, if I'm this coaching staff, you saw a really strong first inning from Cade Ritchie. I mean, I wouldn't be fully against allowing him to go another one.
This one hit towards the shortstop. Diving play made. Will the throw get there in time? It will not. Peyton Blinn had a great stop, but it will go down as an infield hit there for Tanabe. It'll bring up the top of the order in Doty.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit from Peyton Blinn right there, having to go in the 5-6 hole to retrieve that one off-balance throw onto first. It was a good throw, just barely late for the speedy Tanabe to get down the first base line. Maybe something here for the Haymakers, try to get back in this one. They've had a lot of opportunities so far here today, here in these first two and a third innings. We'll see what they can do here.
Runner goes. Throw is not in time. The ball was fumbled a little bit by Sid DeMeo. And so now Jackson Doty's at bat with a runner in scoring position. And just like you said, slowly chipping away. This is a great potential move here for Jackson Doty.
Yeah, the small ball is going to be huge for these Haymakers. Again, you got a pitching staff that doesn't quite have the consistency, that maybe even struggling here tonight later on in these last couple innings. So the small things are going to be emphasized so much more on the offensive end. Can you get those bases easily? Can you be able to have a lot of quality at-bats against a really good pitcher in Aaron Madden? That's going to be the key here for the rest of this ballgame for the Haymakers.
Doty hits this one high and out of play. You got to wonder if this strategy of this bullpen day where they throw 6 guys, maybe 5 or 6 arms out there, if it works and the Haymakers do end up chipping away at this lead and eventually getting back, even if they do end up losing this game in a close one, if they put out a good game plan, do you think this is a plausible thing, especially with the injuries that they've had?
I mean, I think it could be a thing going forward for a lot of different teams. I mean, you're easily, with such a long summer and so many, possibly either hurt or tired or fatigued arms later in this season, there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to have to step up that don't normally have pitching experience, and this is an instance right here we've seen already for the Haymakers to be able to do so right now. Again, when you're able to step up and give yourself an opportunity to be able to go on the mound and give quality innings, that can not just help you get more time on the field, it's going to help this team win more ball games.
Count is 2-1 here against Doty with a runner on second, Tanabe. Big swing there, it'll be fouled back.
And again, Madden has really been working that fastball curve change mix that we've seen so far from him, that 3-pitch mix from him. Let's see if they want to go with the go-away pitch here with the curveball. And a really speedy runner out there at second, Zach Tanabe. 180 feet away from chipping away once again for the Haymakers.
Pitch is low, it'll be 3-2. That was Tanabe's first hit of the season there with that infield single. So a good start to the second week for Tanabe.
Yeah, again, those kind of hits that even can be some odd ones can really help some confidence boosters, especially in such a long summer. But we'll make sure you can stay confident and still be able to attack just both as a pitcher as well as a hitter.
Big swing there. And down goes Jackson Doty. First out of the inning for Madden. Comes via strikeout and it'll bring up the second baseman, Nikolazak.
Yeah, and just the second strikeout of the day for Aaron Madden. Had just as many as first outing up against the Filth Ballers last Monday. So, again, a guy that has a lot of speed, but oddly so far here this summer has not had a lot of strikeouts, but a lot of weak contact has helped Madden out. And maybe some more weak contact can get him out of this inning here soon.
Nikolazak fouls this one directly behind to the left. Nikolazak on the year, he's 1 for 4, I believe, after his first inning ground out. See if he can get a hit today. Still just a little bit late. Nikolazak is on that ball. This one fouled a little bit further ahead down the left field line, but still way out of play.
Yeah, again, Madden working really a mid-80s fastball that we've seen from him so far, and the Haymakers have really had to adjust, but When they're able to get out in front and find the barrel, they've been able to find success. Again, a lot of pitches to be able to work with the entire arsenal here for Madden on the 0-2.
Got him looking. Great pitch there from Aaron Madden. He's got 2 straight strikeouts here. And that'll bring up the 3-hitter, Dane Small.
Yeah, not the pitch that Nikolazak thought he'd be getting on that outer half. Definitely thought he might be getting some off speed, but not quite happy with that fastball call either. But just be able to clip that outer half. A really good frame right there from Sid DeMeo behind home plate. Able to keep that one really, I think it really was just on that high outside corner and just be able to keep in the zone. And a really good job right there by Madden to get one himself. Now with 2 outs here in the 3rd.
It'll bring up the home run hitter, Dane Small. Hit a home run with 2 outs in the 1st inning. This pitch inside.
And the biggest thing for Small on that past home run back in the 1st, I mean, he was just able to unload his hips really through the zone. The fastball got a little bit too high away from Madden as he was trying to work the outside corner. And Small did a great job just being able to get his barrel through and send it over the left field wall. And we really thought that might be a little bit of a momentum getter for the Haymakers, but so far these last 2 innings, slowing down a little bit as Madden's been able to get a little more comfortable on the mound.
This one hit high to left field. Will it stay in play? And it will fall foul. Racing over to it was the left fielder, Matthew Bridwell.
Yeah, both Bridwell and Horton were speeding after that wall. That one just stayed up in the air for as long as possible, but just barely dropped right in front of Bridwell. And now another chance here for Dane Small. I think he's really found his timing up against Madden's fastball so far. That could be a thing to watch out for here, not just in this at-bat for the rest of the day for Dane Small.
That's one thing we notice here at JJ Isaacson Field, a lot of foul territory to work with. So balls that would normally be out of play in other ballparks are still in play here. There's another one pulled toward the left field side.
Again, Small just continually out in front on these last couple of pitches. We'll see how we can adjust here, keep his weight back, and be able to maybe put a ball middle.
Dane Small went to high school here in Nebraska, went to Norris High School, now playing college at Sioux Falls. And he gets him swinging there. Great work from Aaron Madden. Gets his revenge against Dane Small. It's 3 straight strikeouts to end the inning. And it'll bring up the top of the 4th here at JJ Isaacson Field at Seymour Smith Park. We'll have Caden Young, Sid DeMeo, and Caleb Horton coming up for the Black Sox. This is a Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. Back here at the top of the fourth. Got a new pitcher in here for the Haymakers. Number 31, Chris Calhoun. Have not seen him this season yet for the Haymakers. Another position player. Just testing him out, see if he has an arm for the rest of the season, really.
Yeah, it works, at least mentioning to him, he works a 4-pitch mix, fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider. He likes to work the changeup a little bit more amongst his off-speed pitches. He's really trying to see if his slider will work here today and see how confident he can be in it. Looking for maybe an inning or two on the mound.
You mentioned a good inning last inning from Richie. The inning before that as well, Jorges, both pitchers throwing 14 pitches. And really solid. After that rough first inning from Villanueva, able to settle down this Haymaker side.
Yeah, I mean, both are talking to really this entire pitching arsenal that they're working here today for the Haymakers. The biggest theme from them here today was throw strikes and throw more strikes. That's the biggest thing to be able to have success for them, and that's what they've been able to do so far. So, I mean, it's been a close ball game. Definitely a really big opportunity for some of these guys to step up in some big moments when they really need them. I think that's what the Haymakers have been able to do so far.
This is Young at the plate. Takes a strike. That one catching the outside corner.
And again, the umpire behind home plate has really been allowing that outer fastball, really just about half an inch off the plate. He's been allowing that to be really in his zone today, but he's been pretty consistent with it.
There's a full count walk there from the pitcher, but it'll bring up Sid DeMayo, who's had a pretty good day here. Had that single in the first inning, that rough first inning for Villanueva that helped bring along a few runs. I believe one run.
Yeah, Sid DeMayo actually, it was the third run coming in that first inning for them. It came in after that Caleb Horton single right after him. It was a single, then it was able to get on to second with throw. And here's some more mistakes and messiness from the Haymakers as that one gets behind the backstop in Jason Bishop. Third pass ball of the day for Bishop behind home plate.
Calhoun, the fourth pitcher here in the fourth inning for the Haymakers. Kind of what we were expecting to see here. And there's another pass ball. And advancing to third and potentially running home. But holding up there is Caden Young. So off of a walk, he's now advanced all the way to third base due to 2 straight pass balls from Bishop.
Yeah, that one, I think they're actually going to call that a wild pitch on the pitch there from Chris Calhoun. But again, now just another insurance run here for the Black Sox, just 90 feet away at third. We see how, especially once again down on the count, how Chris Calhoun can adjust here.
This one hit deep into left field. And it is foul, just pulled foul.
Yeah, that one was shot out into left field. I see a kid out there to the left going to get it beyond the left field wall, but probably about 6 or 7 feet foul. But again, being able to time him up here was Sid DeMayo to see what we can do here with the 2-1.
Shot towards the center field gap, and it falls. And the run will score. It's going to be an RBI single for Sid DeMayo. That's the second single of the day. It'll be a 4-1 lead for the Haymakers. Sorry, for the Black Sox.
Yeah, and already for DeMayo, I mean, like you mentioned, a really good start for him. It's his second RBI, both RBI singles, like you mentioned, back in the first, and then here in the third. And a really good maybe inning here for the Black Sox to really stretch this lead further. And again, I do understand the mindset from Kellen Richardson to be able to put in some different guys, but I mean, you do have the possibility of questioning, do you keep Jorges or Richie in these past 2 innings if they've done really well? But I mean, I understand the look here. This is not a game to where you're thinking too much about a win or a loss. That's not the biggest piece on the mind for a lot of these coaches and these players, especially really just overall here in the summer. It's really just being able to get a lot of guys more experience, see how well they can do. I think a game really early in the season right here, like we mentioned, we've been talking about it a lot, just what guys can step up and possibly be available later on this season, really when it really starts to matter a little bit more later in the back half of the season.
Saw another wild pitch there from Calhoun. Leads to the runner on second. And this one is hit high towards the right center gap, but shallow for the second baseman who makes the catch.
And Nikolazak able to make the play there. Good soft contact right there for Calhoun to be able to get the first out of the inning. And that can be a really big relief after you've already given up a run. There's a runner in scoring position already. That can be a really big relief for him to be able to get that first out, get yourself a little more comfortable on the mound, and try to limit any more damage to the Black Sox here in this inning. As there is a little bit more speed out there in second, Darius Hagan comes into the ballgame.
Play is made for the second out there. And it'll bring up number 40, Matthew Bridwell, with the runner on third.
Matthew Bridwell.
Yeah, a really good play right there from Tanabe out there at short. The second time we've seen him be able to make a play here today. And now another really big at-bat to be able to caution this one a little bit here for the Haymakers.
That one from Bridwell fouled directly back. And another pass ball, and the runner will go home. It has been a rough night behind the plate for Jason Bishop. I believe the fourth pass ball.
Yeah, fourth pass ball of the day, second two wild pitches from the Haymakers pitching staff. And these are some of the things that we thought might be an issue here today, especially with the limited pitching staff that we see from the Haymakers. And now another run makes it 5-1 in favor of the Black Sox. As they're trying to, again, we thought it might be a back and forth game. The Haymakers really stick it in there, but now the Black Sox trying to really stretch this one open here in the fourth.
It's the 4-run lead now for the Black Sox after that pass ball. Bridwell's still up at bat. He's down in the count. Sorry, he's ahead in the count. I should say 3-1 now. But with 2 outs, Calhoun trying to put this one away.
Yeah, this is really a time for really as a hitter, both as a hitter and a pitcher. This is a clean slate now. You got nobody on here with 2 outs, just trying to get something here as this one's lifted out into right field.
And the catch is made. Filer putting away the side there, but the damage is done. 2 runs for the Black Sox extends the lead to 4. Coming up for the Haymakers, we've got Borkman, Duncan, and Filer. This is the Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. And we are back here in the bottom of the fourth. Haymakers trying to chip away at this one, but the Black Sox get a few more insurance runs in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy that you want if you're the Haymakers right now. You're getting back to the bottom of the order a little bit, but still a little bit of life out of the 4-hole here in Carter Borkman. Borkman a single back in the first, a really shot out in center field. That was a big piece of that first run of the game for the Haymakers, and this is the time that you got to answer back in some way to keep yourselves in this ball game, now down 4.
This one's off the end of the barrel, but the play is made. Good underhand flip there by Manny Fregoso, putting the first out away.
I mean, a lot of miscommunication right there. Caden Young at first really motioned to Madden to grab that ball. Madden, I think, thought that the second baseman Fregoso was going to grab. He went out of the way, and somehow Fregoso made a D. Gordon type of play in front of him. The flip underneath him to first, and a really good play by Fregoso to get the first out here in the fourth.
Talk about defense coming in clutch there. Madden really appreciates that one. This one roped into left field, but it'll go foul. Good shot there from the batter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, when we talk about Andrew Duncan right now, I mean, a lot of these guys here for the Haymakers, although we haven't seen too many runs coming off it, they've been able to piece up Aaron Madden a little bit pretty well here tonight. Just haven't been able to find a lot of balls to be able to drop. The only one that we've really seen was that left field home run by Dane Small back in the first.
And just like that, Madden has fallen behind 0-2 in the count. And there's a strikeout swinging. Down goes Duncan. Madden able to put away the second out of the inning.
Yeah, 5th strikeout of the day. Over doubles what he had in his first outing up against the Field Ballers on opening days. So I think definitely a little bit of a different look here from Aaron Madden, but a really consistent look. And I like the way Madden's been able to keep his composure out on the mound after that first inning home run. He's been able to adjust really well, and he's kept the Haymakers quiet ever since.
Another thing that Madden talked about pregame was locating a first pitch strike. Obviously, every pitcher wants that first pitch strike, but that's something he really wanted to work on, and today he's been doing it very well, hitting those low corners for the first strikes of an at-bat.
Yeah, that's been a big thing from so many different pitchers. I mean, really just at the high school, college, pro level, being able to have that first pitch strike. We've seen the numbers so many times. I mean, 70 to 80% of the time you get that first pitch strike, you're going to get an out in that at-bat. So being able to establish that zone early, get that first pitch strike is so huge, because really that allows the pitcher to now dictate the rest of that at-bat, because as a hitter, you've fallen behind. You now got to think, okay, what's coming next? And you're really, falling behind in a way that, as a pitcher, you can work to really take advantage of in a way.
Connor Filer down 0-2 in the count, but good swing there to force a foul ball. And there's a strikeout swinging for Madden. Down goes Filer. End of the 4th inning. Black Sox lead 5-1.
The Black Sox 5, Haymakers.
We'll head to the top of the 6th. Coming up for the Black Sox in the top of the 5th inning, we've got Harris, Sipe, and Larkin. This is the Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. We are back here. Another new pitcher for the Haymakers.
The right fielder from Nebraska Wesleyan,
Number 56, Carter Betts, coming into the game. We'll see how he can do here against this Black Sox. Bottom of the order, we got 9, 10, and 1 coming up here for the Black Sox.
Yeah, we'll see what Harris can do after grounding out of the first baseman back in the second. But talking to Carter Betts, again, a lot of different guys with a lot of different pitches. Harris, as he drives that one out into center, but Betts is going to be a guy that works a fastball and change mix. He also mentioned that at some point we will see an ephus here tonight. Not an ephus grip, doesn't throw an ephus grip, throws a fastball that, quote unquote, is very slow.
Now batting, the extra hitter from Kansas.
We'll see how that works out.
The experience in the pitching is showing here for the Haymakers. Just testing out some guys here and there.
Now we'll see how Betts can do here. I mean, pretty consistent so far. Able to get that first strike and able to get that first out right before that. I mean, it's not like it seems like Betts has seemed too uncomfortable there so far, already getting one quick out.
Gets a good swing there on number 12, Sipe. It's 2 quick strikes here against Sipe for Betts.
I'm liking this so far from Carter Betts. I mean, he does really does have the motion out there on the mound of a pitcher. I mean, he's gotten a really good glove side run to his fastball so far. I mean, I'm liking where this is starting off for Carter Betts.
Just missing that low corner there for Betts. That was close, but just a little outside. Now the count sits at 1-2 for Betts.
Yeah, Betts, I mean, you mentioned going to Nebraska Wesleyan. I mean, he's a guy, a Millard West grad, and knowing Millard West baseball overall, they want to make sure they have as many guys available to pitch. We talked about at least the state champions this past season. That was one of the biggest factors, how many guys they had available to pitch. They really had 7, 8 consistent guys that really had an ERA below 2, which is unheard of for a pitching staff like that. So knowing a program or a high school program, they want to make sure they have every single guy in their lineup at least somewhat available to pitch if they absolutely need to, and Betts doing a pretty good job so far.
Betts, after being up in the count 0-2, throws 4 straight balls to walk Sipe, and it'll bring up the top of the order in Stephen Larkin.
Now we'll see what Stephen Larkin can do here
The center fielder, number 30,
with one out. I mean, trying to again add on here for the Black Sox in the 5th. Yeah, this is a moment here that, and if you really want to throw this game away, make this one really unreachable for the Haymakers, this is the time to do it. You're at the top of the order. It's been really consistent here today, and get something going here for the Black Sox.
Another first pitch strike here for Betts. He's gone 3 for 3 on those. And that one just misses outside. That looked real close from up here.
Yeah, again, I think that was really a positioning of Bishop behind home plate, really set up middle and low, but just got a little bit to the outer half, so not able to get that call on the outside.
Another pitch just outside there from Betts.
Like if you're Betts right now, this is a time, again, we've really only seen the fastball here so far, so being able to get yourself reeled back and find a strike there.
That one fouled towards the right field side, just a little bit late on that as Larkin.
We saw the runner and Sipe over there at first base off on that pitch. We haven't really seen too many looks from Betts over there at first. That's a really big thing for a lot of college pitchers, being able to mix up your looks consistently. It's a thing that really is a theme for a lot of very successful pitchers.
There's an off speed. Gets him swinging, so down goes Stephen Larkin. Goes down as a strikeout for Betts.
Yeah, really good pitch right there. I mean, got Larkin chasing a little bit on the off speed on the outer half, and now 2 outs here. And again, although you're down 5-1 right now, I think this has been a pretty good outing so far from a lot of these pitchers. You've really only seen 1 or 2 guys, a little bit of some shaky innings. Villanueva in that first, Chris Calhoun this past inning in the 4th, but we saw Yorgis, Ritchie, as well as Carter Betts now. I mean, I would not be incredibly uncomfortable in putting them in a 1-inning scenario later on in the season.
Especially as a setup man or something like that, just that 6th-inning guy. All 3 of those pretty viable options, especially with the way that Betts is pitching right now. We do have a pinch hitter in. It's Gidcombe from Onondaga Community College. That one fouled directly back. Just getting under it is Gidcombe.
Now we'll see what Gidcombe can do here in the spot of Peyton Blinn. And Blinn made a couple really good plays defensively these last couple innings out there at short. It also walked back in the first. But Gidcombe and Blinn have really flipped back and forth that shortstop spot. And they really like that platoon look for the Black Sox.
This one chopped to the shortstop. Making the play at second is the shortstop Tanabe. And down go the Black Sox. No runs on no hits. It's 5-1 the lead. The Haymakers have 3 more chances to get those 4 runs back. This is the Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. we are back here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Villanueva, the designated hitter, up to bat now. See what he can do. Still got Madden out there for the Black Sox. It's been a pretty efficient day for him. This one hit to the third baseman, and the play is made. Routine play there for Caleb Horton at the third base corner.
Yeah, back-to-back times Villanueva's grounded out to Horton over there at third, and I think Madden here, we'll see how long they want to have him go. There is a righty up in the bullpen currently. Looks like P.J. Nagy's out in the bullpen for the Black Sox, so I think we'll see how long they want to allow Madden to go here until they work a little bit of the bullpen mix here for the Black Sox. But in the last time we saw Madden come up, Nagy and a couple other guys for the Black Sox bullpen really struggled and kind of threw away a game that really was in the Black Sox favor.
Big swing there by number 54 for the Haymakers. That's Bishop. Falls behind the count 0-1 early on.
We'll see what Bishop can do here. And some struggles behind home plate here today, but being able to possibly work on the offensive end can make up for some things. Did have a ground out of the shortstop back in the second. But getting some going here is the last couple chances, like you mentioned last inning, here for the Haymakers. Down by 4 runs. Definitely not out of sight for the Haymakers so far, but definitely have to get something going here very quickly here either in the 5th or the 6th.
That one just pulled foul. Bishop still searching for that first hit of the season here in the second week of play. Gone 0-2, 0-3 I should say after today's first at-bat. Now his second chance up. That was low. Good check there from Bishop.
That's a really good take right there from Bishop. A little off speed in the outer half. You've seen a couple fastballs right in front of you. That's a ball, again, you don't really want to put anywhere in the zone if you're Aaron Madden. You're ahead in the count 1-2. You want to really use a waste pitch right there, but a really good job by Bishop to allow that one to brush off the outer side of the plate.
There's a strikeout. I believe it was a check swing, so I think it'll be a strikeout looking. But either way, down goes Jacob Bishop. And it'll bring up number 50 in the 9-hole, the shortstop, Tanabe.
7 strikeouts on the day for Aaron Madden, and I really think Sid DeMayo behind home plate gave him that strikeout right there. That one is at least a half an inch to an inch off the outer half of the plate, but a really good frame on that outer half by DeMayo, able to keep that one in and really kind of maybe fool the umpire a little bit to make him think that one was a little more on the inner half of the plate.
Big swing there from Tanabe, but good pitch by Madden means it's an 0-1 count.
Now, see what Tanabe can do here after the single, a really hard-hit single back in the third. It was possibly a big start for the Haymakers to come back after only down 3-1, but then 3 consecutive strikeouts from Aaron Madden able to get out of the inning. And he's been really cruising ever since then, being 6 strikeouts now in the last 2 2/3 innings.
Count is now 1-2 against Tanabe. Madden looking for the second strikeout of the inning to end this inning away. Said this one lifted towards the right field side, running to it in foul territory, but it will fall. So Tanabe will get another chance at it.
Yeah, like I mentioned, a really good job to be able to give yourself another chance from Zach Tanabe right there. Again, you see that outer fastball. You know that might just be a hair inside the zone, so better job right there to just slap that one away and give yourself another opportunity here in the count. We'll see what Madden can go to here. We haven't really seen too many signs of fatigue, even on a really hot night so far for Aaron Madden. It's been a really strong start from him.
This one hit hard, and it's over the shortstop, so Tanabe will get on base. It'll be a single to the left field, and it'll bring up the top of the order here in number 23, Jackson Doty.
I think Tanabe just loves that inner fastball. I think that one ran just a little bit too much on the inner half of Tanabe from Aaron Madden. A really good job right there to get the hands through from Tanabe to drive that one just really about 2 feet above the shortstop in Gidcombe's glove. And be able to start some kind of 2-out threat here in the bottom of the 5th for the Haymakers.
Big cut there from Doty. But instead it'll be a strike. Trying to at least advance Tanabe. That's the goal here, especially with 2 outs. You don't want to try and lift one out into the center field or outfield gaps, really, because then you're allowing the outfielder to run under it. You just want to advance the runners and really just survive and try and just poke a few runs here, poke a few runs there, and try and find yourself back in this game.
I think the biggest thing right now, if you're Doty up to bat right now, we see a very, very big left center gap for Doty currently. If he can just really do what Tanabe did this past at bat and put one right over Gidcombe at short, I mean, that could be possibly 2 bases and bring around another run. If we can see Tanabe bring it all the way from first, could be a big setup right here if he can put it the other way.
This one pulled left. Running under it is the third baseman, but it will fall foul. Caleb Horton was sprinting back there trying to get under it, but it eventually just falls harmlessly. It's another shot for Jackson Doty.
Yeah, I think Doty really picked up on that really big left center gap right now, being able to try to allow that one to just get further and further into the zone, into his plane, and try to put it the other way, but just a little too late on that one. We'll see what Madden can do here in a 1-2, and especially with 2 guys now up in the bullpen, a righty and a lefty for the Black Sox, this very well could be the last inning of the day for Aaron Madden, up by 4.
Runner goes, but it's a strikeout swinging, and no runs on 1 hit for the Haymakers. 8 strikeouts on the day for the pitcher, Aaron Madden. We'll see if he comes back for the 6th or not. We'll take a quick break. We'll have 6th inning action coming from you here on the Corn Belt League Network. New pitcher in for the Haymakers, number 2, Aiden Urbaum from Dakota State University. You saw him pitch earlier this season, 3 innings pitched, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. So not a bad outing there for Urbaum, trying to close this game out strong. Haymakers down 4 here in the top of the 6th.
And we'll see what Urbaum can do here in the 6th for the Haymakers. See him and maybe Tanabe to end off the day here for the Haymakers. 6, possibly 7 guys for the Haymakers. We knew this was going to be a bullpen night. They've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, again, this game is in no way out of reach for the Haymakers. We'll see if the Black Sox can do something here at the heart of the order in Spencer Crane.
Big swing there from Crane. Gets him swinging. It's a great pitch there. 3-pitch strikeout for the pitcher, Aiden Erbom.
Yeah, 3 strikeouts today from Spencer Crane, and an odd day for him. I mean, you're going up against 3 guys that do not have a ton of pitching experience, and I think for Crane, he was trying to swing a little bit too hard on that one. Really, he's been doing that the last 3 at-bats and getting too far out in front of pitches and just hasn't been able to define the barrel too much.
That pitch fouled away. Going to be 0-1 here.
Yeah, we'll see what Caden Young can do here at the middle of the order. Young 1 for 1 on the day with a single that drove in a run back in the first, as well as a walk, and ended up coming around in a couple odd plays. A pass ball, we got him to second, a wild pitch got him to third, and then a single got him home back in the fourth.
But it's been 5 pitches, 5 strikes for Erbom, so a solid start here. And he's going to be one of those pitchers that they can call on really any time. They can call on him to start. They can call on him in relief. A really versatile pitcher here for Coach Richards and this Haymaker group.
Yeah, I like the way he's been able to work really quickly, like you mentioned. I mean, he's set up as a pitcher himself. One of the only guys that is actually a pitcher out of this group so far from Dakota State is a Nebraska guy. Has felt pretty confident so far. He's already gotten really the middle of this order really on their heels a little bit.
But I think for the Haymakers tonight, even if you don't get the win, you did learn a lot. I think that's why they came into this game knowing that they were going to rotate guys, and I think they did learn who they could trust, who they could maybe lean on in those 6th, 7th inning situations. As there's another strikeout for Erbom, 2 straight strikeouts for Aiden Erbom here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Erbom doing a really good job so far. I mean, he's been so consistent, been able to find a lot of fastballs on the outer half, and they got a lot of guys looking. And Erbom originally went to Dordt, transferred out of Dordt this past year. Is trying to look a little bit more at a higher level.
From Edison State Community College, number 29, Manny Wells.
Pinch hitting here, number 29, Manny Wells.
Now Wells this season 1 for 4 with a single in his 2 games so far this season that we've seen from him. Does also have a strikeout. Wells another guy that we've seen even at the middle of this lineup that has a lot of speed. We'll see how they're exactly going to switch him around. Wells mainly an infielder, not too much behind home plate. We'll see if they switch him out for Sid DeMayo or they have another defensive switch as we head to the bottom of the 6th right after this.
Wells ahead in the count, 3-0. Erbom lost a little bit of control after those 2 strikeouts. Trying to work it back here is Aiden Erbom. And he'll make it 3-1.
Erbom, like you mentioned, out of Dakota State. It's another NAIA program. We've seen Erbom for them this season get a little bit more consistent pitching opportunities. And after 2 strikeouts, gives it the walk right there. Maybe trying to reset himself after the 5-pitch walk.
Now batting, the third baseman.
We'll go up against the third baseman here now, Caleb Horton.
Caleb Horton.
Caleb Horton attends Alice Lloyd College.
Yeah, Horton this season 2 for 4 with 2 singles, like you mentioned, at a Lloyd College. He really likes this league just because he seems like it's a really fun and competitive group that he wants to be able to work with. And again, really a theme from a lot of these guys, being able to improve and get better is the biggest thing that we're seeing from a lot of these guys this season, trying to get themselves ready for fall and then spring ball next season.
That one hit high towards right field, and it is caught by Filer. No runs on no hits for the Black Sox. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th after this quick break on the Corn Belt League Network. back here. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up here. Nikolazek up to bat. New pitcher in is number 28, Nagy. Played at Roncalli High School, now at Iowa Western Community College. The first pitch is outside.
Yeah, Nagy was the guy who really struggled in his first outing up against the Field Ballers. Had the walk-off hit by a pitch after 2 intentional walks with a runner at third base and just 1 out. And it was kind of an odd call by the coaching staff and specifically Coach Sonny Sunigal on it, but we thought there, okay, you see a force play at multiple spots, you're able to get out a little bit easier, and you don't have to think too much about the speed at third base, but it ended up costing them and the hit by a pitch in the opening day loss. We'll see how we can adjust here. You have the leads, you can be a little bit more comfortable. I think that would be a good situation to put Nagy in here.
That was one of the most interesting ends to a game, just seeing the 2 intentional walks and realizing, oh, wow, the bases are loaded. So, like, even if it wasn't just a hit by pitch, even if it's just a normal walk, it would still be a game-winning walk, which is one of the weirdest ways to end a game here, especially in the Corn Belt League.
Yeah, I mean, a hit by pitch is even weirder with bases loaded to give that one up. But, I mean, it's an odd setup to see there. But we'll see how Nagy can adjust here as you see the possible bunt putting down. But I want to talk a little bit about Aaron Madding's day. A 71% strike percentage in 5 innings of work, 8 strikeouts, which quadruples his start on opening day. Did not allow a walk and pitch his 5 innings in just 64 pitches. Talk about efficiency so far today from Aaron Madden.
That pitch just outside here. Working against number 52, Nikolazek.
Yeah, we're seeing Nikolazek can try to get something going here today. Struggling 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out to the second baseman.
This one hit sharply to the second baseman. It's the same result as the first inning there for the first out in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be a ground at for Nikolazek, and it'll bring up number 32, Dane Small. Scored the only run for the Haymakers today with a deep shot to left field, clearing the wall by about 7 or 8 feet there.
Again, he's been able to really piece up Aaron Madden so far here today. He had a couple long swings that went foul back in the 3rd, but Madden was able to get the best of him with a strikeout. But now here up against Nagy, again, definitely a different speed and a very different arm angle from Nagy. We'll see how Dane Small can adjust here. Try to start some kind of chip away comeback here for the Haymakers.
Check swing there from Small means it's a 1-1 count. And that one will hit Small.
And Nagy, once again, just really has struggled being able to find the zone consistently so far this season from him. We've only seen him in a couple appearances, but now, I mean, this is the time now, again, that you're seeing a different pitcher, seeing a different guy that has had some struggles this season. This is the time to get something going and try to come back in this one, especially against a guy like Nagy. We saw him last season just in some limited appearances for the Black Sox. Was 0-1 and one big opportunity for him in 5 2/3 innings pitched, but really it was just one big odd outing up against the Haymakers, this exact team, on June 26th. That's really what hurt him. The other 3 outings out of relief that we saw from him last season were pretty consistent. We'll see what he can do here, trying to keep the Black Sox ahead by 4 here in the 6th.
That one just catches the outside line, so it'll be 1-1.
Yeah, especially here on just such a hot day. We're nearing the hour-and-a-half mark here in this ball game so far. Definitely some fatigue that could be setting in here in just such a hot day. But, I mean, honestly, for a summer night in Omaha, Nebraska with mid-80s, a little bit of a hot night, humid night, but, I mean, you cannot get a more beautiful piece to have some baseball on a hot summer night in Omaha, Nebraska.
I feel like if this was the temperature the game started at and we got colder from there, I think that would have been a lot more favorable for both the pitchers and the fielders. Just not as unbearably hot as this one's hit towards the shortstop. This could be a double play ball, and instead it'll be a tag applied there at second base, catching the leg of the runner at first, who is Nikolazak. Instead, it'll be a fielder's choice.
The third baseman.
Yeah, an odd play right there. I mean, you saw Gid come out there at short, able to make a really routine play. Possibly could have seen a double play right there, but an odd throw. But a really good play by Manny Fergoso to be able to grab that one and make the play, even if it wasn't a force out, but able to keep it in front of him and not allow another base runner aboard.
That'll bring up number 41, Duncan.
Now we'll see what Duncan can do here today. Again, this bottom of the order has really struggled, really except the 9-hole hitter in Zach Tanabe. And Duncan trying to get his first hit of the day.
That one hit short. And going 3. Great base running there from Borkman. And it leads to runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, Borkman was headed to second on the little ground ball. You saw Horton able to grab it, but nobody retreated to third base. That's really got to be P.J. Nagy's job right there. As you see, Horton trying to charge that one, had a better angle going to first, but really saw no play, and his momentum kept him going towards first base, and nobody there at third to be able to make any kind of play. And now runners on the corners here, and a big spot coming up here for Connor Filer.
Filer drives this one, and it's going to fall to the shortstop. And a run will score for the Haymakers. Filer with the RBI single, scoring Borkman and advancing the runner on first. Now it's a 5-2 game here for the Haymakers.
And this is time to where how much do you allow P.J. Nagy to go here? You do have 2 outs, so just 1 out to be able to go to get out of this one. But now you have the tying runner at the plate here with 2 outs for the Haymakers. And we'll see how they can do here. Again, trying to chip away here in the 6th.
Villanueva, the DH today. Not been having the greatest day hitting here. He's 0-2, 2 groundouts to the third baseman. They have been pretty well struck, just not enough to get past him.
Yeah, more specifically in that second inning, that hard ground ball had to have Horton reach back to be able to grab it. Had a really strong throw onto first just to be able to make the play. But Horton, again, has really been consistent at third base, but has had a couple tough plays to where some miscommunication has hurt him a little bit. The Haymakers are trying to take advantage of that. But Nagy, again, trying to answer back and trying to get out of this inning, up 0-2.
Big swing and a miss. There's strike 3 swinging for out Villanueva. Now he gets out of the inning 1 run on 2 hits. We'll take a quick break and be back with the top of the 7th inning here. Black Sox 5, Haymakers 2. This is the Corn Belt League on the Corn Belt League Network. We are back here, top of the 7th inning. Black Sox up 5-2 against the Haymakers. Still pitching here is Aiden Erbaum. Had a pretty solid outing last inning, and he's obviously the only PO pitching today, so they want to keep him in for an extra inning here in the 7th.
Yeah, really strong with 2 strikeouts back-to-back to start off the inning. Another weak contact here.
And the bunt from number 22 for the Haymakers. I believe that is Manny Fregoso trying to catch Aiden Erbaum sleeping, but he can't do that, and that's the first out of the inning.
Again, I really like the way Erbaum's been able to work so far. He's been keeping these Haymakers in this ball game. You're gonna a long comeback that they're going to be able to have in the bottom of the 7th for the Haymakers to keep this game going, but in no way has it been out of reach the entirety of tonight. I think that's a testament to really how well this pitching staff, although very overused, I mean, I'd say overused a little bit, but just definitely a lot of different guys have to be available here today, but how well they've been able to do here today up against a really big lineup in the Black Sox. Again, you're down 3, but I think even if they do, lose here tonight, it's really a testament to these guys stepping up in some big moments, some uncomfortable moments for a lot of these guys on the mound.
0-2 is fouled back. Good swing there.
That's Darius Hagan coming in now for Matthew Bridwell. Hagan, again, is going to be a guy that does also able to pitch for this team, is mainly a pitcher at Northeast Community College, but an Omaha North grad and is really fighting to stay alive here with 1 out.
Count remains 0-2 after 2 straight foul balls here. As Erbaum is looking to put away the second out. Big swing there, and there goes the third strikeout of the day for Erbaum. And it'll bring up their hitter of the inning. It'll be a pinch hitter, number 45, Brandon Zwiener.
Yeah, Zwiener, again, we saw him a little bit in that first game of this season on opening day up against the Filth Ballers, 2 for 5. And a really big power threat for the Black Sox, at least so far this season, with his 2 hits being a double and a triple. Last season he hit 244 at a slash line, 244, 340, and 341. In 19 games, only had 3 RBI, but possibly trying to get something at least going here to find some kind of insurance. He's already found himself down 0-2. I really like the way that Erbaum's been able to work his 4 to 5 pitch mix. He works a 2-seam, 4-seam, slider, change, and a curve. He really likes to be able to put a lot of guys away with the sliders. We've seen that a couple times here today. That one was inside.
Way inside there on Zwiener, but just the first ball of the at-bat. So a few pitches throw away here if you are Erbaum. Try and get Zwiener to chase.
Yeah, it seemed like he might have switched the 2-seam there. Got a lot of arm side run. Let's see if he goes some off-speed in the outer half here.
This one's going to be chopped to the shortstop. And Tanabe is able to put away 3 up, 3 down for the Black Sox. It'll bring up the bottom of the 7th. Black Sox lead 5-2. Coming up, it's going to be Bishop, Tanabe, and then Jackson Doty. 5-2 lead here for the Black Sox. Last chance here for the Haymakers coming up after the break. back here. Bottom of the 7th, last-ditch effort here for the Haymakers to make up these 3 runs. New pitcher in the game is number 33, Will Johnson from Mount Marty University. Also born and raised in Nebraska at Lincoln Southwest High School is where he played his high school ball.
Yeah, back-to-back guys from Mount Marty as this one is shot.
Deep into left field, trying to run under it, and the catch is made. Great play there in left field. That's going to be Darius Hagan, who's filling in there for Matthew Bridwell. What a track job.
Yeah, Bishop, I mean, wanted to send that one out. And a lot of feels that one might have been out probably about a foot and a half really away from the track out there in deep left center field. A really good job, especially under the lighting. Really can mess up a lot of guys' eyes here late at night. A really good job by Darius Hagan to be able to make the play out and left for the first out.
Pitch is low and outside, so it'll be 1-1.
I like the way Tanabe's been able to be so consistent here today. 2 for 2 out of the 9 spot, which is not what you normally see from the 9 spot guy.
This one pop out to the first baseman, and the Haymakers are down to their last out here with Jackson Doty, the leadoff hitter.
And again, I really would like to point out just really how well both these pitching staffs have been able to do here today. Again, although 5 runs led up from the Haymakers, I mean, they did a really good job of being able to keep this one interesting, keep this one in reach for them. But now you're really down to your last-ditch effort, like you mentioned, and trying to find something here to not go down easily.
And like you mentioned, you had Yorgis, Ritchie, and Carter Betts, as well as Aiden Erbom, 4 pitchers who didn't give up a single earned run. The 5 earned run split between Alec Villanueva as well as Calhoun there in the first and I believe 4th innings or 5th innings. So overall, I think the Haymakers, Coach Richards learned a lot today about who he can trust in that 6th and 7th late spots, the setup man or the closer, especially as injuries and fatigue starts to set in later on in the season.
I mean, I really like the way Will Johnson's working right now. I think you can maybe use him as a possible closer spot here. And usually mainly a third baseman, corner infielder, but a lot of speed.
This one is shot deep into right field, and it falls at the warning track. Turning 2 is Jackson Doty.
Again, what a shot right there from Jackson Doty. 2 different guys here in this last of the 7th for the Haymakers, able to put a really good barrel through to the ball.
Now batting.
And now another run here, possibly in scoring position. A lot that has to happen for the Haymakers to come back in this one, but definitely nothing is over until it's over, and we'll see what the Haymakers can possibly do. We talked to them earlier. A big thing for their offense is, how much chaos can they create, and possibly an opportunity to do it here in the 7th.
And if there's any team to do it, I mean, it is the Haymakers. They scored 14 against a team this season in the 2nd game that they played officially. It's a great pitch there from Will Johnson. After going down 1-0 in the count, able to even it out at 1-1.
And Nicolzak, again, did not like that outer fastball, but a really good job behind the dish, able to keep that one just on the outer half for strike 1.
Here's another pitch in the same location for strike 2.
Yeah, Nicolzak, again, just shaking his head a little bit. But again, he's gotten that pitch really 2 or 3 different times today right on that outer half, and definitely down 1-2. Got to be able to adjust to that.
That one trying to go in the same location as Will Johnson, but that one falls a little bit outside of the plate, so it'll be 2-2. If you're Nicolzak, you got to stay alive here. 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Yeah, anything close, you got to be able to foul away. Give yourself another chance.
And there it is, strike 3. Will Johnson strikes out Nicolzak. Final score today from JJ Isaacson Field here at Seymour Smith Park is Black Sox 5, Haymakers 2. Will Johnson gets the save today as the Haymakers fall on their bullpen rotation day. Talk a little bit about what did you like to see from the Haymakers going on further on the season.
Yeah, I mean, I even felt a little bit of confidence for the Haymakers so far. Again, it's an odd day. You have a lot of different guys that don't have much pitching experience for themselves. So, I mean, you got to be able to take some positives away from them from a day like today, even with the loss. But, I mean, offensively, I think is the biggest question here for the Haymakers. How well can they do with some struggling offensive pieces that worked up against Aaron Madden today and a couple of the bullpen guys for the Black Sox? But I think this is not too much to hang your head over. I think you get ready for tomorrow and see how you can adjust and go forward.
And for the Black Sox, the thing I liked seeing the most was their ability to adjust to a new pitcher every inning. Obviously, there were some pitchers who got through their innings pretty well, having a fresh arm, but they were able to get out early against Alec Villanueva as well as score some runs against Calhoun. That's really what set the difference today, those 5 runs scored in those 2 innings alone. Everything else, I mean, the Haymakers pitching staff did a really good job of those rotating guys coming in fresh, coming in with a good mindset and able to attack those pitches well. However, the Black Sox just able to take advantage of those 2 separate innings against 2 separate pitchers, and that's what set them apart today.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I'm not quite sure how to feel about the Black Sox hitting here today. Again, you're going up against guys, a lot of different guys, like you mentioned, so it's a lot of different looks. However, it's a lot of guys that don't have a lot of pitching experience, so to be only able to put up 5, again, maybe not too much of a question mark there, but still something to consider in a game like this, to how close it was back and forth. I mean, you saw there with 2 outs in the 7th, the Haymakers still had something to lean on, but I think for the Black Sox right now, I think a couple guys got to adjust a little bit and be able to find their way a little bit hitting-wise later for the rest of this week.
And the one guy from the Black Sox that was noticeably missing from this game is Spencer Crane. I mean, we talked all about how he was hitting a home run, hit a triple earlier on this season. Today, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Just could not get a read on these Haymaker pitchers.
Yeah, again, the middle of the order was a little bit questionable, despite Caden Young's day, 1 for 2 on the day. I also saw Sid DeMeo and Manny Wells work a little bit at that 5 spot, but again, that 3 spot in Spencer Crane, such a huge guy at 6'4", 220, really struggled here today. I think for him, this is a situation to where you have to be able to adjust, and I think he was taking a little bit too many hard hacks up against a couple guys, and I think tomorrow you wipe this one away, you figure yourself out for this next week, and you come back with the same approach, maybe a little bit more contact-looking approach, but still come back with that approach that you want to attack fastball early. I think that's what Spencer Crane did, but he missed a lot of them, and some days you're going to have like that, for especially even for a guy that's going to be in the middle of the order. But we'll see how they adjust next week, and I think I cannot wait to see really both of these teams in these next couple of weeks here in the Corn Belt League.
We're sure we'll see Spencer Crane's bat back here. We'll send it out for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with our player of the game here on the Corn Belt League Network.
Back here at JJ Isaacson Field, the final here in our nightcap on Sunday. The Black Sox win this one 5-2. The winning pitcher here tonight, Aaron Madden, 5 innings pitched, just 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts on 64 pitches. I think the theme tonight for you was consistency and efficiency. I mean, 64 pitches in just 5 innings. I mean, how were you able to work so well?
I had a good defense behind me. You know, we were just calling pitches and was able to execute those pitches tonight.
So I think in that first inning, you give up that home run to Dane Small. That one for a lot of different pitchers could be something that I think controls them throughout the rest of this game. You answered back pretty well. What was the mindset after that?
Just got to flush it. You know, those kind of hits happen. You had to put a good bat on ball, and nothing I can do about that.
All right, for you, this is your second outing so far this season. Well, technically second. We say technically the third. I mean, you go set yourself up last night to be able to throw. It gets rained out. I mean, does the recovery process differ after you've thrown 2 pitches and have to go back the next day?
No, I just did the regular recovery and then came back today ready to throw.
All right, so you see this Black Sox team really trying to climb back up at the top of these standings so far this season. You know, really good starting outing for their second outing this season for you. What is the mentality for this group going forward?
Just to keep hitting good baseballs. You know, we're having a lot more success on offense, and as long as we can keep the pitching going, I think we'll be all right.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Yeah.
A win here today for the Black Sox, 5-2 win over the Haymakers. We'll be back tomorrow with 2 more games here at JJ Isaacson Field. It'll be Tyler Reedy as well as Max Coughlin giving you all those games here on the Corn Belt League Network. This has been Jaden Taylor alongside Arnav Pokhrel from our entire crew here on the Corn Belt League Network. Have a wonderful evening. We'll be back tomorrow.